So yeah, as we were talking, our top 10, not 5 for this episode is going to be the top 5. Gosh, I'm going to say that 1,000 times. As a matter of fact, I got to change it on my paper. The top 10 games that we played in 2019 for the first time. The reason we're saying that is because we were debating on doing a 2019 releases, but there's so many games that we know we would probably like.
Oh, yeah.
That it's hard to come up with that. So we do have a lot of 2019 releases on our lists, but there are going to be a lot of 2018s. Probably nothing that much past that, I don't think, but maybe one here and there.
I made 2 separate lists, one for 2019 and one for 2018.
All right, well, let's do the main list first, and then George can kind of blast through. And then if we have a time, we'll talk about a couple of games that we wanted to put on the list, but we didn't or whatever.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, I've already removed that from the list.
Or maybe some people will talk.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to start.
Sure.
All right, my number 10 is Treasure Island.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a 2018 release, I believe.
It is.
But this game was so fun. I mean, it's like you first off, you get to move around like War Machine. You get to measure your movement. Then you get to draw on this dry erase board. And
circles after circles.
Oh, circles. If you like drawing circles, this is the game for you.
Oh, yeah.
It is fun.
It's kind of like a deduction game. You're trying to deduce where the treasure chest is and stuff before Captain Long John Silver gets out of jail and goes and finds it, digs it up. So much fun. So much fun.
Oh, yeah. This was a good one.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I haven't played it as anyone other than Long John yet.
You have not?
No, every time I play as Long John so far.
Oh, wow.
And I keep hiding the treasure in the same spot.
It's because like you're teaching. Do you really?
Yeah. No one has found it yet.
That's not true.
Did you? No, I got away with it.
I can't found it. Turn 1.
Oh,
no, whatever. No,
besides that.
Yeah, okay. No, he's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But then you didn't put it in the same spot twice, though.
No. Then
I
found the perfect
found
spot.
a better spot. It's not been found yet.
That was astonishing, though, when she went right there immediately.
Right.
You're like, what?
All right, game over. Let's start it all over again.
You're right, because if they move off that spot and they move far away, they're not coming back.
Right. Yeah. It's,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Giving away the secret.
My bad.
All right. So my number 10 was Robin Hood and the Merry Men, which is sort of a worker placement, collect cards. It's not really a deck builder, but you're collecting these cards and then deciding how to spend them, and you place workers out on the board to do these sort of Robin Hood deeds and keep the sheriff and Prince John and all the bad guys away. It has so much theme, dripping with theme.
Awesome.
It is a very complicated looking game. The graphic design is its biggest impediment, because the game is actually fairly simple once you know what you're doing.
I knew you had some things that you thought might not go very good in the game, and I was kind of waiting on you to play through this one and let me know kind of what you thought. I had a couple of chances of picking it up myself, but I was like, I know you said you seen things or heard things that might not go so well in it.
Yeah, but no, in my experience, it's worked out. I do house rule some things.
Okay. Now, is it fixed because the house rules, or is it all right just how it is?
It's probably all right the way it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to have all of the various merry men involved, and I don't want people to be locked into the same ones.
Oh, okay.
So people can choose them each round, which adds some time to the game. So yeah, I really like it.
Cool.
So for my top 10 here, I didn't really put this in any kind of order per se on here's my 10 and one's my most favorite, but
is your number one your most favorite though?
Oh, I mean, it's up there, and they're all really good. So I didn't take the time to kind of order these 10, but they are all really good games that I enjoyed playing over 2019. The first one for me is Rise of Tribes. It's a 2018 release. So you're taking these you're a tribe, and you're taking your tribe and doing these actions to grow your tribe and gather resources, and you're kind of you're getting new abilities, and you're trying to vie for supremacy of these different locations. So we ended up playing it and enjoyed it quite a bit.
Cool.
Yeah, it was good.
My number 9 is Dice Settlers, and this is a 2018 release, but we didn't get to it till 2019, even though I had it when it was released.
Uh-huh.
But it's a really cool dice or bag building game where you're building your bag full of dice and rolling them each turn and kind of doing the spend the resources and build, I don't know, hexagon tiles out there to try to go take over the spots and
Get points.
Yes.
build like a civilization style game.
Yeah, and grief each other a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Mitigate all your rules. Do
Really?
whatever you want.
yeah, mitigate
Yes,
everything.
you can.
Basically,
mitigate
it's dice mitigators, and looking forward to the expansion.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's a really, really, really good game, I think.
Yeah, enjoyed it. Okay, my number 9 is Meeple Party, and you have a bunch of different colored meeples in a house, and the house is modular. You set it up, and then they are the hosts of the party.
Mm.
And every round, more meeples show up in the house, and you have to place them into rooms and then move them around to mingle them. And so it's this puzzle game where you're trying to figure out how to get everything to work out, because every time you place a meeple or move a meeple, other things happen depending on the color and what kind of partier it is.
Mm.
There's flirts and there's like
Jerks. And
jerks, yeah, wallflowers and the cool guy. Like there's all these different things. And so the theme is just it couldn't have more theme. It's
Mhm.
incredible. But what you're trying to do is you're setting up these selfie shots that you're going to do, and you want certain meeples in a room together so you can take selfies. And it's just really great, tricky, cooperative.
Yeah, we need to get this one to the table again. I know when we played it, it was like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was a
We had
co-op
no
game
chance.
until like halfway through it.
That's why
But-
you weren't helping any of us. Thank
Yes,
you.
but yeah, I enjoyed it. Number 9 for me is Teotihuacan, City of Gods. It's also a 2018 release. People say it kind of takes over or is better than Zolkin. Not sure about that, but it was an enjoyable experience. You're moving around these workers and they age, which is pretty nice. And so if you haven't played this one and you like Zolkin, then I think you'll like this one. Maybe George won't like it, but
I've
But George
avoided
should
it. I
try,
have avoided it.
try this one out too.
Mm.
My number 8 is Sorcerer. This is a White Wizard Games, and it's basically you kind of do a smash up style thing where you build your character out of 3 different decks, and it generates how your character and playstyle is, and then you try to take over one of 3 locations. Very simple, fast game. I mean, you can play it under an hour,
Mm-hmm.
I think, especially if you've played it once. And man, this is fantastic. If it wasn't,
2-player. Is it 2-player?
well, I mean, there's a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 6 player
Oh,
stuff too. I mean, so we really need to play it with more players,
Mm-hmm.
but at 2 players, it's really fantastic. I really want to try it 2-on-2.
Oh yeah.
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 I think it's really meant for 1-on-1, but is that right?
99% of the book is 1-on-1
Mhm.
rules.
And then has some variants or whatever to add additional players.
Right, but the variants aren't really that big of a deal. Like the
Or not
variants
really
are kind of like,
variants,
or
but-
not, yeah. Like if you want to play 4 players,
Play
then
it
like
this
here's
way.
a couple of things that need to change for it to
Mhm.
work properly or whatever.
yeah, those can be great.
You can even play it, I think, 5-player free for all, and you add another board and
Oh,
stuff.
my
I mean,
goodness.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
So very, very awesome game. I think the artwork might be a downfall for it, generally speaking, because it's very,
It's a little dark
demonic.
and- yeah.
But that's
but
all
like for me, I think it's phenomenal. It is so cool. The artwork in that game is so good. Now, like the graphic arts, or some of it's small.
Mhm.
Like this symbol means flight, and you're like, no. But
with the art that it has, this could go on your top 5 metal games.
oh yeah, this would be a top 5 metal game. Man, that would be a cool list.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. All right. Next is
Not that kind of metal.
No, exactly. Either one, either kind, actual metal, it's fine.
All right, well, if we do that list, mine will be a top 5 metal, like hard. Like,
Hardcore.
I
man.
want to see that list.
that'd be funny. Like a play on words. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you meant.
All right, so my number 8 is called Nematon, and it's a game that is a tile laying game. And when you lay out these tiles, you move your druids around, and you're collecting these leaves in the forest to create potions. So lots of games are like that, but this one is well
Just much better than those.
It's just I've enjoyed it. You move around and you get these potions, and you can also call on the favors of various animals. You go to springs, magical springs, and you go to monoliths out in the landscape that you're placing, and it's puzzly. You can sort of set yourself up for combo moves, and in the end you make the most potions and you save the land, and get the most points.
Cool.
Nice. Next one for me, number 8 is not a 2018 or 2017. I don't know when it came out, but I first played it in 2019, and it's Hanamakoji. It's a 2-player game.
Oh,
and if you like some difficult decisions in a 2-player game, this is a nice one to play. Artwork is really nice, and you're just making these decisions on like getting 4 different cards, and it's kind of like Battle Line, if you know that game, and you're trying to take over specific battle areas, I guess.
Yep.
And they're just numbered cards, and you're trying to get more of those numbered cards on the table than your opponent. And like I said, it's a 2-player game. You're doing stuff like you're giving your opponent 2 sets of cards, 2 cards each, and they get to decide which of those 2 sets that they're going to keep and put in their tableau, and stuff like that. So if you haven't played it, you like 2-player games, give this one a try.
Yeah, it's just difficult decisions the whole way through, and it's like Battle Line, the micro game, because it's just goes so fast.
Right.
Fantastic.
Well, ironically, Eric, the game I was gonna talk about was a 2016 release, so I moved it to my honorable mention. And put it in a different game, and I put it in Cartographers. This is the flip and write game by Thunderworks Games in the role player universe. Yep. And basically you're a map maker or cartographer, and you are flipping cards out. You all draw different different shapes, kind of like tetraminos or whatever they're called, on this map, and then you're trying to like abide by the scoring things around. It has this very Isle of Skye scoring mechanisms where each scoring card will be used twice throughout the game.
Yes.
Just at different times.
Nice.
So super good.
I
don't know. We've played a bunch of roll and write. Well, I mean, not a bunch, but we've played a dozen or so.
Right.
And this is by far my favorite one.
It is really good.
Yeah.
I really like it. It might be my favorite as well.
Yeah.
I have to think about that.
It's because I don't think a roll and write or a flip and write or whatever should be like super involved.
No.
But this one has so much going on, and it feels deeper than like most of them.
Deeper than many of them. Correct.
Yeah.
Welcome to Dino World 2 involved.
Oh, really?
That's what you were saying.
Yeah. The one I don't know. I really liked the dungeon one. Dungeon Doodle.
Oh yeah, I like Dungeon Doodle. It's a Steve Jackson game.
I didn't play that.
Okay. Yeah, try that one.
I don't think I like it as much as Cartographers, but it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I might like Cartographers better also. Yeah. Okay. What are we on? 7?
Yep.
My number 7 is Nemesis, the Game of Aliens, the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus a whole bunch more, because man, did they pack a bunch of extra content in
the game.
Game. It's
Do you have this physically yet?
insane. I do have it, yeah.
Okay.
I just haven't. I've been working on the book, and I have had no time.
Yeah. I know we played this on Tabletop Simulator.
Yes. But now I have the actual
Actual game.
the massive box that
Oh, is it massive?
oh man, there's like, I don't know, 6 different boxes or whatever.
Oh,
6
geez.
different boxes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They just kept adding stuff during the campaign.
Oh, wow.
It's one of those kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Every time I hear this, I get really sad that I didn't back Kingdom Death Monster in the Kickstarter, and I just bought it afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of things. Yeah.
Nope. All right. Is that you? Number 7.
Yeah.
Number 7 for me is Steampunk Rally. It's a tableau building game where you're putting these dice out on your tableau or your vehicle, basically, and you're trying to be the first one to race to this finish line. And it's so good. Whenever you can make something And whether it chugs along very slowly and you're doing all this stuff, or you're
The
you're
Rube
making this-
Goldberg machine of
Right.
rally cars. It's like
Yeah.
chung, 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 chung.
Move one space.
I want the expansion for this so badly.
Oh yeah, if
There's
they
an
if,
expansion?
They're supposed to be making one.
Oh, okay,
if
cool.
they do, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
totally getting it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's one of the few games that all of us own.
Yeah.
Yes. What was the one we just? There was one we were just talking about. We all.
Dang, we just talked about it. Memory.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
I don't
Yeah.
remember now.
There's not a ton of games that we all own, but yeah, this is one of them.
Yeah, for the most part, there's not really a reason for all of us to own it because we're most playing games with each other.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
My number 6 is Noctiluca, and it's the game by Z-Man Games. And basically, you put all these dice out, and you're trying to like call a number and then pick them all up in a row. And then the ones you pick up are of different colors, and you're trying to fill up your little bags. And Noctiluca means sea sparkles,
Mm-hmm.
little things in water. Whatever. The theme doesn't matter. But you're picking up.
No, it doesn't.
You're picking up
Not in
dice.
this game.
Yeah, you're picking up dice of the same number. So all 5s in this direction, you pick them all up, and you're trying to fill up your cards with them. And then once you fill them up, you get to put them face down and get new cards. And man, it's such a good game. I really, really enjoy it.
Yeah,
and it's like just long enough. Really odd that you play the game like twice, basically, but it works out.
Right.
I was when you were talking about it, I was thinking of the other one we played with dice that was kind of like that, which is Glux.
Oh, Glux is awesome.
Yeah. That probably should have gone on my list, but
Hmm.
a different list because it's not 2019.
Yeah, it's a pretty old one. Well, I don't know how
Right.
old it is, but it's definitely. I'm gonna look it up real quick. It's definitely
been a few years.
2016.
Okay, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
almost the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
My list isn't in any particular order until you get to like maybe the top 3 or 4.
My top 5s are all 2019.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right. And my number 6 is kind of 2019. We'll talk about that in a minute. Go
Okay.
ahead.
My number 6 is definitely they've all been the 2019. Mine is Awkward Guests, which we talked about
yeah.
on an earlier show, and it's the deduction game.
Really? That one said 2018. Maybe it's.
How is that? Oh, because it came out in
2018.
Oh, well, whatever.
The English version is 2019.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Anyway, it's on one of our older episodes, and it is a tremendous deduction game.
Okay.
It is very good.
All right. Number 6 for me is actually a game I just played this Saturday. This last Saturday. It is Eclipse. You guys played it?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you haven't played Eclipse. Oh. Well, it is.
You just played it the first time. And we literally just had that conversation where we all play the games together.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Anyway. It's been out for a while. I don't. But
It's like 2014 or something.
yeah.
yeah, but there is a second edition. It was on Kickstarter. It's actually not even out.
It's 2011.
Oh, it's been out for a while. But I was going to put it on my list because there is a Kickstarter, I believe, that went out on 2019.
Oh.
That's already been Kickstarted. It just hasn't made it to backers yet. Probably next year, so it'll be a 2020 game. But this is a 4X game where you're basically building up your space fleet. You are exploring out. You're researching these technologies. You're implementing or upgrading your spaceships in order to go out and conquer more lands. So yeah, it's a longer game, but quite enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's good. I can see you liking this one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not me.
No.
Speaking of game, everybody can see that I would like, or that somebody would like, The Quacks of Quinlanburg
Oh,
Yeah.
is definitely right up my alley with the whole bag building idea.
Mm.
That is by far my favorite mechanism in games. Pulling stuff out of bags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sand.
Oh, so good. Sand.
Yeah.
Thieves.
Yeah.
It's just really fun. I think that, I don't know, like it's a really fun game to play, although you can have very bad playthroughs.
Sure.
Like
Depending on what.
the last time I played it wasn't as fun. I still enjoyed the game,
Mhm.
but luck could really punch you in the face.
Right. Last turn of the whole game, and you're just
half of the game I pulled out like just the snow, whatever the cherry
Snowflake.
blossoms are or whatever.
Yeah, like the 3-pointer.
The things
or
that make
like-
you blow up.
Yeah, the white ones.
Yeah.
I was just, what is this? My bag has like 20 chips in it, and I still pull out those first. It was just so you can have some bad luck, bad runs, but overall the game is just awesome.
It can also help you as well.
It never helps you.
Oh,
it depends
luck.
who you are.
You
yeah.
can have good luck.
Exactly.
Other people
guess.
can pull out their little cherry
And, like,
blossoms.
I definitely had luck.
And there's like combos where you can pull out a certain one before another one. Always happen in reverse order for me.
yeah.
And it was just like, what? Okay.
yeah, but it's a great game. You don't have to sit there and really think about what you're doing. It's
I mean,
just, you pull stuff out, things happen, and
They do what they do.
They do what they do. You go
Yep.
on.
Yep. The gameplay is like you get to decide it randomly.
It's easy play.
Yeah.
Any family weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a fun game though.
All right, so my number 5 is Wingspan, and Wingspan has an expansion that has the European birds coming, and that's on my Christmas list.
Oh,
For
Nice.
sure.
Nice.
number 5 for me is like I said, all these are going to be 2019 now. The Lord of the Rings: Journey of the Middle Earth. It is a cooperative game, much like Mansions of Men, this second edition. It is app driven, and you're going through these lands, and you're Lord of the Rings characters in the game, and so yeah, very fun game. You're questing and you're trying to not really per se in the game. You're fighting off all the stuff all the time because you really have an objective that you're trying to do. The other things are just kind of in your way,
Slowing you down.
and slowing you
Yeah.
down. Yeah, so you can't go off. Oh, let's just fight all the time. You're gonna fail your objective. So
Cool. Well, my last 4 are in the order of how much I like them in comparison to everything else. And conveniently enough, the honorable mentions also add into this too.
okay,
Even though you'll see why they're honorable mentions. My number 4 is Heaven and Ale.
yeah,
This is such a dry game. I mean, for having a liquid as part of its name, it's very dry. But
Very.
the game itself is just super deep as far as strategy and everything. Oh,
Yeah.
it is so
Yeah.
good. If you like
Smooth play.
smooth play, yes, I agree. It doesn't make any sense what you're doing.
No.
I mean, I'm a monk putting ale in shacks. What?
And half of my lands are in shadow perpetually.
Yeah. So very odd theme, but otherwise the gameplay is amazing. I mean, if you like a pure like kind of a Euro, I wouldn't call it point salad. It's not really a point salad.
Well,
You don't really get
You get
points for
points for
everything.
stuff.
You get points for like having you want to go really
you
far
either
on
get money
one
or
and-
points.
Yeah. You kind of it's one of those games where you got to have
Money that gives
everything.
money salad.
You have like a bunch of different color cubes they have to move along this track, and they all have to be up because
yeah,
the
that's-
weakest one
yeah.
hurts you the most.
Right.
So
Mhm.
it's not really point salad in that idea because you got to get all the points.
Yeah, that's true. You have to balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
And it does get rough sometimes, but man, it is so good. And I think it plays well at pretty much any player count.
Mm-hmm.
Probably better at 3 and 4 just because there's more interaction on the
I would say
The choices
man
on
collar
Rondell,
thing.
right.
Rondell.
Yeah. If you like mechanisms, really a lot.
Yes, it's Mechanisms, the board game,
Yeah.
and it's amazing.
It is good. Okay. Is it me? I'm on 4. Okay.
Yep.
My number 4, mine have all been in order, and I really like this one, but I can't put it ahead of the others. It is Letter Jam.
All right, yeah.
Best word game. Top word game for me. And it came out this year.
It is pretty good.
Love this game.
I like the art.
You have cards that are.
That big strawberry, so juicy.
Strawberry.
Oh, I thought you meant the letters.
Like the box strawberry.
Yeah, there's the theme, whatever. But you have
We're talking about gameplay here.
a word that's mixed up in front of you, and you face up the letters away from you one at a time, and you have to figure them out by looking at everybody else's letters and giving them clues using the letters that you can see, and then they piece together theirs. They give you clues using your letter that you don't know what it is, but you see the others and you piece yours together. And at the end of the game, you make a guess as to what your scrambled word is. And it doesn't matter if you
Yeah.
actually get
Right,
the
yeah.
word correct, because
Which
as long
does-
as you come up with any word,
That has all the letters in it, which kind of makes sense.
if you get them
Because-
in the right order,
Right.
you still count it. You're like, oh, that's what I meant.
Actually,
That's
kinda-
what I meant. Yeah.
At first, I was like, oh, I don't like that rule, but it makes sense that you got all the letters. You know,
Yeah.
just because you came up with a different word.
Exactly.
That you shouldn't be harmed by that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes you don't come up with all the letters, and a letter that you think was a P, it was actually an R, but in the word that you made, an R also works.
Mhm, right.
That's what I did.
Mhm.
Because I came up with I was like, this word. And it's like, that's not what
No.
they gave you.
Yeah, it's great. It's so good.
Number 4 for me is Detective City of Angels. It's a noir themed, and you're homicide detectives, and you're going around on this map, and you're able to ask questions and then search different locations. So as a game that you can kind of get into and role play a little bit into it, and I think it's top notch. So if you kind of like those detective type games, super good.
Missed opportunity though
On
that
what?
the fedoras aren't big
Oh.
enough to fit on the characters' heads. The miniatures need to be a
Unneeded.
little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will
They go,
always have this
bam.
opinion.
It was so it would man, talk about icing like the whipped cream on top. That
Somebody 3D print this.
yeah, right.
I will buy it.
But yeah, great game. I like it.
Yeah.
My number 3 is Rise of Tribes. Eric's talked
Yeah.
about it a little bit. This game is awesome. Dude, I was blown away with how
Oh,
good this
ahead.
was.
And get the upgraded components
For what?
for this game.
Rise of Component? Which game?
Rise of Tribes.
Oh yeah. I don't have those.
No, you don't have them.
What are they?
We kind of talked about them when we talked about the game, not on this episode, obviously, but they had really, really thin load chips and,
Oh,
and
right,
stuff,
thicker
and,
ones, yeah.
and upgraded components that it comes with. It might have been Kickstarter only. I don't think it
No,
is.
you can buy them afterwards.
separately.
It even
Ah,
says it in
okay.
the rule book.
Okay. Yeah, definitely worth picking that up.
Yeah, the game is great. Just I don't know, everything about it, like the way that the board, even the layout, even though you could probably I was told on one of our videos, somebody commented, I believe it was the designer,
Hmm.
that they said that there's all these scenarios and different layouts for the map on their website, so you can get all kinds of cool stuff for it, which I'm assuming is on Board Game Geek as well.
Hmm.
But the fact that all the events are super cool, it's a very
Events are different.
simple game,
Mhm.
like what you're trying to do, but there's a lot of strategies going on. I like that everybody has their own like deck of like quest cards, like goal cards or whatever, but you get them in a different order because you shuffle it.
Hmm.
Man, just such a fun game.
Yeah.
I was blown
Absolutely.
away by how good it was.
Oh yeah.
Makes me disappointed that I actually did not get it the year before at Gen Con. I waited a whole year to play this.
There you go.
Sometimes that happens.
Yep.
Okay, my number 3. Yeah. Number 3 is Dreamscape. It is a 2019.
Dreamscape's so good. I
I-
should have made my list.
It should have. I have it now. I have all the expansions like in its physical form rather than just playing it on tabletop.
Hmm.
I've played with the animals. I really like it.
Oh.
I need to play with the other expansions. I cannot wait. I just need time.
I was thinking
Yes.
about this because I saw it on my list,
Mhm.
and I was thinking I would probably actually like it better in physical, form.
Yeah.
I don't
I
like.
think you would.
Yeah.
It would just be more.
I think most games are at least a touch better physical form
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
overplaying it online. But you get what you can get sometimes, and that's all you can get.
It wasn't even out, so I mean we didn't have
Right.
a lot of choices. Plus, Tabletopia is far less superior than Tabletop Simulator.
I agree.
Playing it in physical form with Mr. Nightmare, who puts out these red Nightmare discs on the board,
Yeah.
is also really good because you can sort of follow him around and pick up these things, which should be bad for you. But if you get enough of them and you can get them into your hands, you can turn in 3 to get any color you want.
No,
And it opens.
You just don't want to be
Up what
stuck
you're
with
doing.
them later.
You don't know.
Yeah.
They're bad.
that's why he's called Mr. Nightmare. Number 3 for me is Batman Gotham City Chronicles. This is a game that is a 1 versus all.
Eric said Batman.
It's a 1 versus all game where one person is not only playing a certain character like Bane or something or Joker, but he's also playing all these henchmen, and he has a little tableau that kind of makes him play certain characters, or pay more in cost to maybe jump ahead and bring out these other characters that well they're already out, or you can bring them out. I don't want to go into all that, but so in the game you're playing one person's the bad guy, all the other players are the good characters that are trying to resolve some kind of conflict or do some objective. So you're able to go and do all these combo moves and take out all these henchmen. Just overall a great game for a one versus all.
Cool.
Missed my chance to play that one.
Yeah.
We'll have more
Okay.
chances.
My number 2, Eric's talked about, that's Steampunk Rally. This game is it is so fun. It is so good. Plus it's steampunk.
Bonus.
Yeah, bonus. And this is one of the first games that
we played on tabletop.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, gotta buy it.
Yeah. I mean,
is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we're even done.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I think you was looking at it or something.
Yeah, I was gonna buy it. I ended up actually math trading for it.
Mhm.
I didn't actually buy it,
Okay.
but I would have totally bought it.
Yeah, you're talking about it. Yeah.
Such a good game.
Yeah,
I mean, Eric's already
yeah.
said a lot
I
about it.
typically don't like race to the finish type of games, but yeah, this one is an exception.
It's really funny because I say this all the time that I don't race to the finish games.
Mhm.
Yet Lewis
Yeah.
and Clark's one of my favorite games.
Right.
Oracle of Delphi is one of my favorite games. And Steampunk Rally is one of my favorite games. So I guess I might as well
Maybe
just
you like
change
it
this
now,
out.
yeah.
I mean, I should just stop saying that at this
Definitely
point.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like those games. Well, I like Lewis and Clark for sure.
Yeah.
I like Steampunk
Mhm.
Rally a lot. Yeah. My number 2 is Dale of Merchants, the collection, and it has another pack of various animals to put in the game.
Coming soon.
And, well, there's another one coming soon. There's
Oh.
there's the third set, but
Mhm.
also with the collection, you've got another 6 or
right.
something. And then you also have all these characters, these animal characters that all have different powers, and they change up the game so much.
Oh yeah.
And it comes in a big box to put everything in it. I mean, it's so good. This could become my top game of all time. It's right up there with number 1 on this list. But I adore this game. It is
It was good.
tremendous.
And-
My favorite deck builder.
It gives you so much replayability and able to switch
especially
out
with the
all
characters.
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Number 2 for me is Pret-a-Porter. Hopefully I said that right.
Pret-a-porter?
Porter. Anyway, there is a updated revised version that came out this year. It is the artwork for me anyway. I know George said he preferred the artwork in the previous edition, I think. But enjoyed the artwork. It is actually one of the few games that Melissa actually played, and she's like, "Oh, you gotta get this game." So she enjoyed it that much.
Have you got it yet?
No, not yet. I should look for it.
And the artwork in the previous game wasn't good.
Oh, it was not. Yeah, I never played the previous version, but
Something about this artwork bothers me.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, that's what it is. It's
Yeah.
not that the other one was better.
No, not really. No.
Oh, okay.
I gotcha.
But you had some expectations for what the new version was going to be, and it didn't meet those.
Yeah. What they have just bugs me for some reason. Yeah.
So anyway, so it is a economic Euro game through and through. So if you kind of like those more heavier Euro games, getting loans and if you like the theme, I think you're gonna like it.
And this one kind of feels like a race as well because you're going for those stars. You're trying to get your
you have
stuff put together to get the stars.
Right. Yeah. Well, you have you're doing a series of different shows, and for every show, you're bringing different garments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Honorable mention time. Like I said, I have 2 of them. I only had 1, and then halfway through this list, I changed up things.
No.
The first one, the one I switched out with cartographers was One Deck Dungeon. Because I was thinking as I looked through the list, I was like, I'm pretty sure that was a little bit older, and it was 2016. I wanted to have stuff that's, I think all mine are 2018, 2019, except for one deck dungeons, so I moved it down to honorable mention, and that game is phenomenal. It's such a fun. You like it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. I don't know if I'd ever play it by myself. It's a 1 to 2 player game.
Mhm.
It's
I think
actually
that's-
3 and 4 if you had a second copy.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
That
What
makes sense.
were we gonna say? You think it's better too?
No, yeah, I enjoyed it too. I think it's primarily supposedly best at one type of game.
Yeah, I can see that from all the solo players out there saying that.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's better 2 player.
I agree.
I've never even played it 1 player, so I'm gonna stick with that. My other honorable mention I chose not to put on the list specifically because it had I don't know, it's Keyforge.
Mhm.
And honestly, Keyforge might actually have been the number 1 on my list. But I chose not to because I didn't want to put it like a card game.
Okay.
Or not a card game, but like a collectible card game-ish
Right.
type of thing on the list.
Yeah.
But dude, I've played it so much. It is so fun. I have a lot of it. And
You do.
I just really, really enjoy the game. But I don't know. I chose to do honorable mentions specifically because it's more of a CCG. And
Yeah.
I typically try to leave those off the list if we're talking about board games.
Okay.
So that's why it's an honorable mention. Otherwise, it's tied for 1.
Do I get more than one honorable mention?
If you want to.
Sure, you can take mine.
Okay. Oh, thanks.
If you want are you going to do a whole top 10 list on
No, but I'll make it a theme of honorable mentions, and I'll do my 2 because you had to.
Sure.
And then I'll take the 2 Eric just gave me.
Yeah.
There
There you go. So you got 4.
I have 4.
So, all right, give us your top 14.
Okay. All right. So the theme of the honorable mentions is expansions.
Okay.
So the first one I'll say is Seasons of Inish, and it's honorable mention because I haven't played it, which is killing me. But
you know
fair.
it's going to be good.
it's gonna be good.
I can't hate this.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so
I didn't think about that. It's really hard to put expansions on this list. So it makes sense that honorable mention them. Unless
Sure.
it actually... I don't
See?
know.
yeah.
All right, good
Yeah.
list. Keep going.
All right, so the next one is Everdell Pearlbrook,
Okay.
which I have played and I really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
So that easily could be on my list, but it's an expansion, so I'll make it honorable mention.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is Fields of Green, the Grand Fair.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a great expansion to that game. Really adds a lot to it. And the top one from this year is Robinson Crusoe Mystery Tales. That entire box is one long campaign, and
Mhm.
it is tremendous.
I haven't even played the other one, and I own it.
The
Wait,
base-
Robinson Crusoe?
The
Yes.
Bugle.
Oh yeah, no, I
box.
haven't played that one either.
Oh, okay.
Terrible.
It is.
It's on the list.
What the game is not terrible.
No.
Oh,
Terrible
Just
that I haven't played
we
it.
haven't played
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
The
Right.
game
That's fair.
is the best.
We need to
and
make time.
this box was so much fun to play all the way through. Kat and I played the entire thing front to back, and it was tremendous.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, no honorable mention for Eric.
No.
He gave him away.
Yeah, I gave him.
Oh,
away.
that's fair. All right, my number 1 I think is probably going to surprise people, or at least you two. No, anyway, and it's Wildlands.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, I
I
have
enjoyed it
literally thought about this game
every day since
all
we
the
played
time.
it.
I'm not even joking. I think about it all the time. I'm like, I really should buy that. I really should buy that.
You need
I really
to
should buy
get
that.
it for Christmas.
I might.
I don't see it around very much.
Because
So.
it's expensive.
Is it okay?
Wildlands?
Yeah. It's like $80.
Wow, that's way too much.
Yeah. So, I mean, it
It
puts
is good, but I mean, it's
Is it $80 good?
Yeah.
that's like 50. It's
Okay.
50.
okay.
I mean,
It could be
with
$50
the
good.
online discount,
Right.
it's like 50. But then there's all those
You
the
can afford that
expansions and
if you're
stuff.
thinking about it every day.
Is
Well, no,
there?
but
oh,
the
that's right.
expansion, like the character expansions, are like
There's the
Yeah, 20
skeletons.
and-
Yeah.
$20 a piece, kind of deal.
How many?
I think there's 2 or 3 now.
Oh yeah, you're back up to $90.
Yeah, man, I am going to buy this game eventually. It really there's the Unquiet Dead, the
Yes.
adventuring party.
Right.
Then there's the map pack, which came out, I believe, at Gen Con, or at least one of them did. Nope,
Hmm.
both of them did.
This is a Martin Wallace game.
Correct.
He's kind of rising up on my more favorite.
I think we just
designers
haven't
here
played a lot of
recently.
his games,
Mhm.
really. But yeah, on Amazon, it looks like it's about 50 and then 20 and 17. So
It is very fun. Good game.
So if you want to get it all, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it. I'm gonna buy it all. And actually, the reason I want to do it is
Do it
because
right
I
now.
absolutely want to paint these miniatures.
Oh, yeah.
And so to take the cheap way out, what I did was, I traded for Cadwall in City of Thieves, which is a very similar game, except you don't directly fight each other. You're really just running around the board, taking
That's
stealing
nowhere
money.
near the same.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but like you still get the idea and the feel from it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not direct conflict. You're mostly just bumping into each other like Sonic and busting out gold out of their body and picking it up. So,
Okay.
but oh man, it is so good. We played it on Tabletop Simulator, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this is so
It
good.
was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So
Because you have the hand of cards, and you're like, oh, I can do this or this or this or this or this. It's like,
And then
Or-
interrupt.
interrupt. Yeah. My
yeah,
turn.
interrupt, which is it's so annoying, but it works out really well.
Yeah.
And overall, it's a very easily understood game.
Yeah.
It's a good family game. Very young age could
Sure.
play it.
Oh yeah. It's not that difficult as far as, I mean, maybe younger kids won't see all the combos that they can actually do, but
Right.
Yeah.
yeah,
12-year-old.
Yeah.
Or 8,
or 8.
depending.
I want
Okay. Okay, my number. What are we on?
It
Number
says
one.
14 plus apparently every game.
Yeah.
We're
My-
number one.
My number one. My number one is Detective City of Angels.
There you go.
It is so much fun.
It is.
Playing all the roles and doing it cooperatively. Well, me against everyone else, I guess.
Mhm.
Having everyone else be cooperative, and then just doing voices and doing the like
Yeah.
acting out the parts. Everyone
Right.
doing that is
Role playing.
tremendous.
Yes.
I think I would be bored to tears just flipping a little book and passing it over to people.
Oh, yeah. Never play it like that.
I'm not going to,
Yes.
and I really encourage anyone who plays this game to try it. Cooperative
Agreed.
players working together. The
Right.
person running the game do voices, do some acting. Make it interactive. It's the best.
Yeah, because it shows
It
you
is.
kind of how they would.
Better than that other
Yeah, well-
detective game. Detective work.
Agreed. I can't wait for the expansion, which is coming out. It's shipping very soon.
Oh.
There's going to be even more cases. So and
Yeah,
I hope they just keep going with it because
Oh, yeah.
it's
It is.
Van Ryder's best work. It is game of the year.
I actually agree. I think it is Van Ryder's best game.
I think it's the best game of this year.
oh,
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
He said it.
lofty.
he said it. Van Ryder
It is
has some
really
good
good.
games though.
Yeah. But this one kind of comes out on the top for me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Number one for me. Sabotage. I forgot who makes this game. George knows, maybe.
Yes. I did until it just slipped my mind right now.
Anyway, why maybe
The
think
same
of
guy
that
who
or-
did Burgle Brothers.
Yes.
What's his name? Tim Fowers.
Tim
Okay.
Fowers.
Well, in this game, you're playing as teams. I believe you can play 1-on-1, or we played it 2-on-2. So it's a team-based game. One team is playing villains, and the other team is playing the people that are trying to save the world. And you are kind of, as you play through, you're kind of verbally giving the other team these clues at what you're doing, but they are not exactly what you're doing, so they kind of have to deduct and try to find where you're at. So if you kind of like those types of games, this one was really fun. I did enjoy it because I do enjoy team games a lot, and this is you're working with one another.
All these games I haven't played must have been the same night.
No,
I haven't
over a
played
couple
this one.
nights.
I haven't played this one either, and I
George
own
has
it.
Yes,
And
we should
it's-
play it.
Oh,
It's so
it's
good.
killing me.
Where'd you just play us at Rich's?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna play it as soon as the book is done.
Yeah.
Oh man,
It is good.
I'm really excited. To
It
hear
is-
how-
it's
It's
easy
the best
to-
game of the year for you.
No, my top 10 is not in really top 10 order, but it is. I enjoyed it. It was top 10,
Okay.
but not necessarily my number one game. I'm not sure exactly. I would have to give it some more thought
Okay.
in order to put this into more of a
He's not
a
committing
top
himself.
10 sitting. Yeah.
We got just a few minutes, so you want to short list a few items?
Yeah, just a few things.
I've got some too.
Cool. you want to go first?
Sure. Like maybe 1 to 2 minutes. Running through them real quick. Short list wise, I'm going to put Shobu.
Okay.
I really debated putting that in my top 10. It's such a good game. Crusaders, Thy Will Be Done. I thought that was a really good game, although I feel like the replayability might get really samey.
Sure.
So it didn't hit my top 10.
Not as good as Trajan.
Yeah, not as good as absolutely not as good as Trade-In. But Trajan didn't qualify for the list.
Right.
Jetpack Joyride was definitely a short list.
Oh yeah.
Super good. Lock Up, a role player tale was really fun. I really liked that.
That's good, yeah.
I quickly added a Mule on here because I really did like that game.
Okay.
That's a game we just played the other night.
Mhm.
It's the re-implementation of Silk Road, I believe.
AMUL, not like a mule. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
AMULE.
I put Wreck Raiders. They probably would have been at lower, like maybe like 1920 type of deal if I'm doing a
Sure.
top 20.
Mhm.
And then Fire in the Library, which I really debated
yeah.
on putting on my top 10,
That was.
but it just
Up there
it got
for me.
skirted off by other stuff. So
Mhm.
that one was surprisingly good, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Okay, so
it really just got in the 11th place because of the bag. Keep going.
I just have a few. I've
The
already.
bag's not that
It's
bad.
so bad. It's like cheesy clearance fabric. Here's a flame. The game's really good. I'm just harping on it because
Bag's
I'm
fine.
being
Yeah,
funny.
bag's fine. I agree.
I managed to sneak in most of mine already, so I only have a few left. I've got Spike, which is an older game, train game. I played it first this year. Another train game that I also like a little bit better is Irish Gauge.
Another one out of
That one's a 2019 release.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah. It didn't quite make my top 10 though. I haven't played it enough,
Gotcha.
and when I played it wrong.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think once I get it the right way, I'm really going to enjoy it. And I've watched some others playing it the right way, and didn't. Even though I wasn't participating in that game, I was hanging out, talking with them, and watching them play and everything. And now that I see how it goes,
That's how we were supposed to do it.
Like
yeah,
whoops.
I'm really looking forward to that one. I think it's going to be the Chicago Express killer for me.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see.
Blasphemy.
Yeah.
So there's that one. The Faceless,
Oh yeah. Mhm.
which is the game with the magnets that we played.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that one so much.
Artwork so good.
Yeah. And then also This War of Mine sort of had a rebirth because it had some scenarios that came out. Some extra
Recently?
some arrived this year anyway.
Oh,
A pack of stuff, which I need to get that
wow. Okay.
to table with you guys.
I would love to play it.
So good.
Yeah.
And
I like the video game.
yeah. And the last one is one I've actually already mentioned, but just to mention again, Detective Modern Crime game really surprised me. Really like it.
Yep. I actually after the first game, and we're gonna probably review this game at some point once we do all the box set missions.
Yeah.
But the first game, I was like, that was pretty fun. It was a lot of work. The second game, when I actually did my job, I was like, this game's awesome.
Yeah.
So
When you did your job.
yeah, because I was like the board person that like mapped all the people and their connections to each other, and I wasn't
Right,
doing
yeah.
it. My board was blank.
So you're saying you enjoy your work more when you actually work.
Do it.
Yes,
Okay.
oddly enough.
I understand that.
Anything you want to throw on there, Eric? Any other games you can
No,
think
I
of?
actually, I did a top 5, and my previous on the list, my 6 through 10 was kind of my honorable mentions until we turned it into a top 10. So I already cut off the other ones and I already forgot what they were. So no honorable mentions for me.
It's all good. We're looking forward to 2020. Obviously, a lot of games, but we'll probably do the same thing. We won't play many. Well, all our 2019 games will
We're
be
gonna
on
start
our
playing
next list
That's right.
Yeah.
in 2020. So